We just talked to this guy.
Who?
Jeff Goodman, the Field of 68 is reporting Virginia head basketball coach Tony Bennett is retiring.
What? Like now?
I'm going to read you the full tweet from Jeff Goodman.
Okay.
Who, by the way, Jeff Goodman in the Field of 68, they were at ACC tip-off with us.
Yeah.
They were part of the interview rotation that we were a part of.
Mm-hmm.
This is from Jeff Goodman. Breaking. Virginia head coach Tony Bennett is retiring. Source told the Field of 68.
Whoa.
I can't emphasize this enough. We just talked to Tony Bennett.
And like a week ago.
And
literally a week ago today.
He sat down with us. We chopped it up about the upcoming season.
Yeah.
We chopped it up about ACC basketball. We actually did a little retrospective. Maybe I should have noticed that he was willing, because a lot of times you talk to Tony Bennett, he's not the biggest storyteller guy in the world. He's a basketball kind of lifer. He was like, we talked about Klay Thompson, who he recruited to Washington State years ago. We talked about some of his old players. So maybe there's some. I don't know. I'm going to echo a tweet that I just read because this hadn't even entered my brain. Sincerely hope this is not health related. That had not even, like, obviously we're reacting to this live on air, and if you're just tuning in, Virginia head basketball coach Tony Bennett is retiring, according to a source speaking to the Field of 68. He is one of, 7 coaches that at the time we talked to him were active and had a national championship. Yes, I will echo that thought just because I don't know what else to do with it. Sincerely hope this is not health related. There's no family emergency or anything along those lines that is kind of requiring more time of him, so he has to walk away from the game. But Tony Bennett retiring. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, and Jeff Goodman would not put that out there unless it's a very credible source.
I would expect that.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't be reckless like that.
Virginia men's basketball, which is the official Twitter account of Virginia men's basketball.
Okay.
Breaking: Tony Bennett to announce his immediate retirement in a press conference on Friday at 11 a.m.
Whoa.
The reason why I'm so shocked, I'm not shocked that a coach as good as Tony Bennett at his stage in life is retiring. Jay Wright did it not long ago from Villanova, another coach that he actually won multiple national championships at Villanova. There's 2 reasons why it's surprising. One is the timing of it. Like, games are about to start. So
practices have already started.
Yeah, like exhibition games.
Yeah.
We're knocking on the door of real-life basketball games.
We literally saw UNC play 2 nights ago against Memphis.
So the timing of it is why I say I really hope this is not some kind of emergency decision from him that is related to something else more serious in life than basketball. The second reason why this is so surprising is I can't emphasize this enough. There was I'm running through. We talked to him for 10 minutes. He hung out a week ago, and I'm now running through the conversation to think, like, was there a hint that I missed? Should I have asked a question about his future? I genuinely went through the conversation impressed by him. We were talking about how it was the youngest team by age in the 15 years he's coached UVA. There was no. We
talked about how TJ Power came out of the transfer portal from Duke to UVA and how he was recruiting him out of high school. Gosh, we even joked about how their play-by-play guy, John Freeman, is his high school
exactly
teammate of
there
mine.
Was nothing out of the ordinary whatsoever. And this is about as out of the ordinary a decision and an announcement as you could possibly have for somebody like Tony Bennett.
Yeah, he doesn't strike me as a person that's just going to go, I'm out.
He struck me as someone who loves basketball, first of all.
Oh, yeah, very much so.
By the way, played basketball.
For the Hornets?
Yeah, he played for the Hornets. He played with Larry Johnson and Muggsy Bogues. We joked about how his players are so young, they don't know who Larry Johnson grandmama is. Like, this is, like, it was all, he's a basketball guy. He played at one point in time, this is not a joke, I think it was in New Zealand, for the Burger King Kings. You can go look it up. He's been quoted saying joking that they got paid in Whoppers. It was the Burger King Kings overseas. You are a person that loves basketball if you played for a team who in their name had a fast food restaurant. That's holding on to the dream. Then he became a coach, rose to the highest highs, won a national championship, was starting to build his was already in the depths of building kind of his Coach K family at UVA. He was bringing Kyle Guy back to be an assistant coach, a player that won that national championship with him not long ago as one of the stars, was playing overseas, gave up a playing career to come coach for Tony Bennett. That's very Coach K-like. You're going to have the Nolan Smiths, the John Scheyers, the Nate James, the Wojos, the Chris Collins on your bench. He was one of the standard bearers in the ACC as far as head coaches go. That is surprising. Again, if you're just tuning in, news just broke. Virginia men's basketball has confirmed it. Tony Bennett to announce his immediate retirement in a press conference on Friday at 11 a.m. Your imagination runs to a million places you don't want it to go.
Mm-hmm.
Is it something health-related? Is there some kind of scandal, which I can't anticipate, but again, you don't want your imagination to run there. Could it be something more altruistic than that? Could it be something like he has a beloved assistant who he feels like would get the shot, but not if they had time in the offseason to look elsewhere for a head coach? So he waited as long as he could to announce it so the assistant would be slid into the head coaching chair. I don't know. That probably doesn't make sense. But in a nonsensical situation, how do you make sense? This hurts the ACC. UVA is a worse program without Tony Bennett. I'm confident in that. Now, assuming it's nothing serious, and there's no, real bigger than basketball reason that Tony Bennett is retiring, how soon till we get to start with the jokes with maybe now they'll score 70 a game?
Yeah, I think you just started it.
I'm asking. I didn't make the joke. I'm saying.
I think you asked and said it.
I'm saying how soon until it's okay to make jokes about if I had to watch UVA basketball for 15 years, I may want to retire also. How soon? I'm just asking when those jokes are appropriate. I'm not making those jokes. Do you think he's an NBA head coaching candidate anytime soon?
I don't know. He's 55 years old.
Again, how old is Jay Wright? Look, do you mind looking that up?
I'll look that up.
I thought that
Jay Wright's 62. About to turn 63 later on in December.
There was a moment like 5 years ago when the Coach K, Roy Williams, Jim Boeheim, like that crew was obviously inching towards retirement, that I thought Jay Wright, Tony Bennett, maybe like a Shaka Smart, like those were going to be the guys that took that mantle. Let's just say they have not. They've actually said, we're going to continue passing this mantle. They're just going to grab the baton, turn around, and give it to someone else. They held it for like a year.
This is crazy.
Not
expecting this.
I was going to say, is there anything I'm missing? I feel like this is all very quick, very, very on-the-fly reaction. Is there something obvious that would make this make sense? Because a lot of times the best answer is right under your nose, right? The most likely answer is the simplest answer. Why? What am I missing here? Or could it be the simplest answer is just he's done? He's made enough money to be able to say he's done whenever he wants.
I don't know. It'd be kind of
It'd be a weird move on his part.
It'd be a weird move to do it right now.
For one of the classiest coaches, it would really put his program in a tough spot.
It really would. I don't feel like he'd be the guy that would do that. I really don't.
Which is why the imagination, but you don't want to let it go crazy.
Exactly.
But it's
you don't
hard
want to
not
speculate.
But it's hard not to.
Apparently, he's one of 3 coaches in history, along with Dean Smith and Coach K, to lead his program to 10 or more consecutive winning ACC records.
Yeah, I told you he's pretty good.
And also one of 3 coaches, along with Dean Smith and Coach K, to be named ACC Coach of the Year 4 or more times.
If you are on multiple lists where the entirety of the list is Dean Smith, Mike Krzyzewski, and you?
Yeah.
55. We're missing out on at least, a decade of UVA being good. And they still might be good.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It's hard to imagine they're better without Tony Bennett.
He brought that program back up out of the doldrums. As someone who grew up in the Charlottesville area and watched some bad UVA basketball teams at times, he brought that team up.
I'm not asking this as a joke. This one is serious. Where in the history of like all-time college basketball coaching seasons does his national championship run the year after being the first number 1 seed in NCAA history to lose to a 16 seed and returning, getting better, keeping everyone locked in, not letting that embarrassment get him down, and winning the national championship the next year? That's a masterclass in college basketball coaching. One of the best ever. And he is retiring now. Tony Bennett to announce his immediate retirement in a press conference on Friday at 11 a.m.